They went to Lambeau Field and obliterated the Green Bay Packers and are now just one game behind Super Bowl favorites, the Buffalo Bills, in the AFC East. Here's why the New York Jets should terrify you. You won't believe it until you see it. It's been a long, hard, grueling, and painful existence for the New York Jets fans, but they finally have something to be proud of, as their team has its best start to the season in 7 years. A baby has learned to walk, talk, and attended grade school before the Jets had a winning record. But that baby now gets to see their dads, cousins, uncles, and the rest of their family rejoice after years of disappointment and frustration. But what is the secret behind the shift in momentum and fortune? What are the pieces responsible for the sudden reversal of the situation? The answer isn't a simple one, and it doesn't factor in one individual or set of individuals. It is a huge shift in identity and culture, which head coach Robert Saleh is responsible for. The man born in Dearborn, Michigan, who is of Lebanese descent, has been with the Jets since 2021 and only won 4 games out of a possible 17. Granted, it was his first year on the job, and he took over from a team that had won only 2 games from 16 the season before he joined. Now, you might think that improving the regular season record by 2 wins doesn't mean much, but to this Jets organization, it means a great deal. It is a sign that there is improvement in the bleak horizon and a glimmer of hope that this team, if they acquired the right pieces in the offseason, could improve. So let's not forget that not only was Robert Saleh in his first season as head coach for the New York Jets, but it was his first head coaching job. For him to change the culture and mindset of a team that is labeled as pushovers and has a recent history of being stamped on and mocked for being pathetic would take an enormous amount of work. To convince his players to believe that they are a winning team and to further fuel that confidence by providing proof on the field is nothing short of masterclass coaching. But in order to have that success and to terrify teams, you need to have players that buy into what they are planning to create. The first and most important player comes at the quarterback position. Who is he? Zachary Capono-Wilson, or Zach Wilson, is in his 2nd year as the quarterback for the New York Jets. He was selected 2nd overall in the 2021 NFL Draft and had a rookie season to forget. If we take a thorough look at his stats in his rookie season, Zach Wilson played and started in 13 games, where he had a pass completion percentage of 55.6% and threw for 2,334 yards, scoring 9 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Now you look at those numbers and you think to yourself that the Jets made a tremendous mistake in drafting this player, especially as the 2nd overall pick. But Wilson isn't just a stationary pocket quarterback. The kid can run. In his rookie season, Zach Wilson rushed for 185 yards and scored 4 touchdowns. The fact that he's got mobility and the awareness to use his feet means defenses will have a hard time getting to him for the sack. His elusive play in the pocket, combined with the knowledge that he's a dual-threat quarterback, also means that he has an incredible amount of value in the modern NFL, where teams are always looking to find that type of quarterback. Fast forward to this season, when Wilson was sidelined because of an injury at the beginning of the campaign, he did recover in time to lead his team to 3 victories. 1 at home over the much-fancied Miami Dolphins, and 2 on the road to a tough Pittsburgh Steelers team and an Aaron Rodgers-led Green Bay Packers team. Wilson is 3-0 on the season, thanks in large part to his mental development as a quarterback. Zach Wilson is a student of the game and loves nothing more than breaking down film with his coaches, and he has the backing of Robert Saleh. The head coach believes in Wilson's abilities to lead this team to greater heights, and that confidence has helped the 2nd-year quarterback find some footing and reassurance. He can play without fear, and he's making smarter decisions with every snap. There's nothing more terrifying than a quarterback who has a dual-threat capability, but what really drives fear in the hearts of their opponents is the running game. So who are the main backs? The New York Jets have used 14 different running players in their play scheme. How is a team supposed to defend against that run offense when they don't know which Jets player is going to be carrying the ball? It sounds absurd, but it works. The leading runners on this team are none other than Michael Carter and rookie running back Breece Hall. Carter was the main designated running back for the Jets, but more recently, Breece Hall has taken over. but both men have delivered. Carter rushed for 199 yards from 53 attempts, scoring 2 touchdowns, while Hall had 391 yards from 76 attempts, scoring 3 touchdowns. Such production from both main running backs is amazing enough, but adding designated wide receivers in the mix creates a cloud of confusion for the defenders. In the Jets' last game against the Packers, wide receiver Braxton Berrios had 1 carry for 20 yards and a touchdown. The variety with which the Jets attack opponents on the ground would terrify the best of defensive coordinators. But it's a New York team that appreciates diversity and variety so much that they will also destroy you by air. But who are the best catchers on this team? The wide receivers on this team are having a memorable season so far with the amount of opportunities and play schemes that leave them wide open. The top 4 players with receiving yards are wide receivers Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and rookie running back Breece Hall. Yes, the rookie has 219 yards from 8 catches and a touchdown. But it's wide receiver Corey Davis, the 6-year veteran, who leads the receiving totals for the Jets with 351 yards from 19 catches. He has also got 2 touchdowns. Also from this group with 2 receiving touchdowns in rookie Garrett Wilson. It's hard not to be enamored by the performances of this rookie, who has over 200 yards receiving in this short season and has been targeted the most by the Jets quarterbacks. Another wide receiver who has over 200 receiving yards is Elijah Moore. The sophomore wideout is having a quiet but productive year. The breakout long bomb catch is bound to happen for Moore given his speed and elusiveness. In fact, the trio of wide receivers who have produced for the Jets are electrifying. Their speed, elusiveness, and overall catching ability as a handful for opposing teams to handle. It's terrifying just thinking about the number of weapons they have on offense. But again, that is just on offense. Wait until you see what the New York Jets have in place for the opposing team's quarterback. Undoubtedly, the most terrifying aspect of this Jets team is the defense. They have 14 sacks in 6 games and 6 interceptions. This tells us they are finding ways to put the opposing quarterback under pressure and back up teams to the point where they are forced to punt. In their last game against the Packers, the Jets recorded 30% of their sacks this season. They got to Aaron Rodgers 4 times in Lambeau, which is an achievement solely reserved for elite defenses. The main sacking beast on the team is Quinnen Williams, a defensive tackle who already has 5 sacks this season. Williams is just your typical 300-pound-plus man who has the brute strength and speed to swallow up quarterbacks. A terrifying man if you ever see him running after you with the intent to bring you down. Now you might think that a couple of 300-pound offensive linemen would help solve that problem, but then your team has to deal with the other defensive ends, such as Carl Lawson and Sheldon Rankins. Both men have a sense of where to be positioned and how to get to the quarterback, as each has over 2 sacks this season. Once the Jets establish that their front defensive players can reach the opposing quarterback, that is when mistakes are made. That's when the quarterback rushes his throws and makes poor decisions, which results in disastrous interceptions. The interception on the Jets team is none other than Pro Bowler LaMarcus Joyner. In his 9th year, Joyner has all the expertise and veteran savvy to jump in and snatch the ball from the awaiting receiver. What's interesting is that Joyner only had 2 seasons in which he's had interceptions, and only 1 where he's had more than 2, meaning Joyner is already terrifying offenses. This New York Jets team has the bravery and creativity of a head coach, the belief and confidence of a quarterback, the variety and depth in the running game, the elusiveness and speed of pass catchers, and the brutal, destructive force of their defense. How can you not find them terrifying? Should the Jets terrify you? Please let us know in the comments below, but before you go, if you still want to watch awesome NFL content like this, please watch the next video that will pop up on your screen.